All right, welcome back. And we're going to go right now to Chet Chesson, the executive director of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission, and he's been giving us some excellent updates. And from what I understand, Chet, y'all hamper, but y'all getting the ball rolling over there, which I figured you would be. And I'm hearing some activity. Can you bring us up to date?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Martin. Thanks for having me on today. I think it's again a pertinent time to give you an update on where we are. We've been our facilities were very fortunate. Our facilities were, or many of them were able to come up starting last Tuesday to start loading vessels and getting 20% of the nation's oil supply back up and running in the Gulf of Mexico, or at least starting that process. So there's still a considerable amount of work to do. We can't deny that. There's still a lot of work. We're just today getting water back into Port Fourchon, so it's been that long without any actual potable running water down there. So we're just starting to get today to get some pressure back up last night into today. So in the next couple of days, we should be fully functioning on auxiliary power, full water supply, and facilities continuing to get back up and running as quickly as possible. We've had a lot of work taking place in clearing of debris in facilities, in getting temporary facilities back into the port in terms of housing units and office space for those that had considerable damage at their facilities. But I would tell you we're probably somewhere in the 35 to 40% activity range. We have all of our fuel facilities are operational, and many of our loading facilities are operational as well, our liquid mud facilities as well. So again, we're at about 40% or so now in activity, and that's growing every day. And once we get full water pressure back, that'll quickly grow, I believe, to about 75%. And then, that last 25% is going to take a while to
Yeah,
come back on.
no doubt. And as we're talking to you, got water pouring in from Nicholas on us here at the studio, so if people hear that, that's what it is. But it's so ironic to talk to you about just getting water in Fourchon when you're surrounded by water, right?
Amazing, right? Yeah. It's one of those things that we forget about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we take for granted. But we all saw it, especially for Hurricane Ida, that we shouldn't take our water for granted
Yeah.
because we desperately need it, and it causes problems when you don't have it.
Let me ask you this, because the numbers you were giving me were pretty staggering considering we're just a little over 2 weeks out. And to be at, let's say, 40%, I mean, that's pretty incredible. Did you think it would go that fast?
No, I didn't. But what I do know is we have a lot of hardworking people from the Port Commission standpoint, but from a community standpoint and from a business industry standpoint, they want to get things back up and running. And, we have a pretty good group here. We all work together, and we just get the job done. And I think that's what we've seen throughout our region over these last couple of weeks is everybody really banding together to get it done so we can get our communities back up and running, we can get our businesses back up and running, so we can start to heal a little bit. We have a lot of damage, a lot of scratches, a lot of cuts, a lot of bruises, but everybody working together, being kind to each other, the love and support that I think our communities are getting from outside of our community,
Mm-hmm.
from around the state and around the country, is helpful. And we need that to continue to happen until we can get to a point where we can take care of ourselves, because right now it's difficult.
Obviously, you made a great point that 20 to 30% of our resources go to the nation, for that matter, and we help the nation. Are you getting what you need from the federal government?
We're continuing to work. I think initially, what we needed was our channels to be surveyed, and NOAA came in and on the Wednesday after the storm was in the water surveying our channels first thing in the morning, and we were able to get Belpass and Port Fourchon open for daylight traffic only the Friday after the storm, which is amazing. And then this past Saturday, we were able to get 24/7 navigable operations in Port Fourchon approved by the Coast Guard. So, that's some pretty amazing numbers in timing, just like we talked about from a land side, servicing of facilities, just to get that up and running quickly. So we're getting that. We're continuing to work with our the governor's office, our state delegation, and our federal delegation to put together numbers of what we're going to need as potential funding for dredging, for jetty work, for coastal restoration type projects that we need in order to protect ourselves for the next storm. So that's all working right now, and we're getting those numbers together and those different projects together to get to our congressional delegation, so that in the event that an emergency supplemental is going to be passed, that we can then have those funds coming down here. When we're dealing with this, there's not a lot of quick reaction in terms of funding coming down to us. We have to kind of pick ourselves up by our bootstraps and then work through the FEMA process. But it looks like we're going to have 100% coverage for any emergency protective measures and any debris removal for the next 90 days, which is good. And then we'll move forward on our other projects, because there's not one asset from the port.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm about out of time, but thank you so much. We're going to come back to you for more updates, so thank you so much, Chet.
Thank you, Martin.
All right, we'll be right back.